Alright, this will be a brief video on how to prep an NMR sample. So to prep an NMR sample, you're going to need an NMR tube, an NMR cap, which I'll have provided to you. You need to make sure that the tube is clean, which when I give it to you it should be clean, but if it isn't, make sure that you get another. You need to first put your sample in the NMR tube. Now, how much sample you need to put in there, if you come over to the NMR area, which is in the back next to the computer by this hood, there's a sheet which will show you how much NMR sample to put in for a solid sample or a liquid sample. Most of your samples will be solids. So you're going to put in there, it's about a couple millimeters at the bottom of the NMR tube for either a solid or a liquid. But again, you can compare, you just hold it up against the page here and you'll see the sample, how much you should put in there. So you put your sample in. At the NMR station, there's going to be a bottle of deuterated chloroform. This is the solvent that you'll use for all of your experiments. Make sure that this stays closed. So you open it, when you're done using it, close it because it absorbs water pretty readily. There'll be a pipette here. Only use this pipette for the solvent here. Don't bring your own pipette. Don't use another pipette. You're going to draw out about a pipette full, which is about a milliliter, and you're going to add it. That typically is enough, about a milliliter, but again, here on the side of the hood you'll see a full NMR tube and you can hold it up and compare. It's about 2 fingers high for most people. I know different people have different size hands. You can have too little and you can have too much. So if your level is not as high as the level on this page, the NMR tube where it's full, then add a little bit more. If your NMR tube is more than a centimeter taller than this, then you probably have too much. What will happen is if you have too much, it'll be too dilute, you won't get a good NMR. If it's too low, the NMR won't be able to lock on your sample. So try to make sure it's pretty close to what you see here. When you're done, you've added your solvent to your sample, you're going to cap it. Make sure that the cap fits all the way on. You don't have to jam it on there, but do make sure that it covers completely around. And then you'll set it in this tray. And at the station, there's going to be this sign-in sheet, which has a slot for each of the slots in the caddy. So wherever you put your NMR sample, put your last name on the sheet in that square, and then you're all done. After I've collected an NMR sample, I will give you back a dirty NMR tube, which you will have to clean. I will make a separate video on how to clean the NMR tubes, but you'll clean the NMR tube, you'll give me that wet NMR tube, and I will provide you a new clean dry NMR tube for the next NMR sample. So don't use the NMR tube after you've cleaned it, because it will still have water and acetone in it, and that will show up. So you need a clean dry one, which I'll give to you. I'll talk about that in another video on how to clean that. So that's it.